On this world where people gather, the main topics are nothing more than boasting about oneself, belittling others, prying into lives, and gossiping about random worldly matters. So why should I go out? I have a pure heart and know how to live for myself in life. I do not want to force myself to serve others and may seem cold or distant in others' eyes, but I never live by other people's standards. Even if I am alone and have few friends, I am not lonely at all. I feel very comfortable because I do not need to deliberately maintain personal relationships and will not be restricted or pressured. People like this have a pure heart, know how to please themselves, live for themselves, and live the life they want according to their own ideas. I know your life is very busy. Even so, what I say is not easy to accept, especially hard to fully grasp if you only hear it once. My advice is to watch until the end. Listen repeatedly when you have free time or while doing housework. Share it. Save the playlist for your convenience. I am certain that within just a few months, your thinking will develop dramatically and rise to a whole new level. Socializing for the poor is slow suicide. A person would rather live joyfully and proudly than live in insecurity and self-doubt. Today I will say one arrogant truth. Humans do not need any social relationships at all. The social connections of poor people are worth less than dog feces. From childhood, parents and teachers always taught us to be united, loving, and build good relationships with classmates and peers. But the truth is, when you face this world alone, you will realize you can only rely on your own strength or the cash in your hands. Many fools cannot see this reality. They value relationships and constantly throw themselves into socializing. Today, meeting some random coworker for drinks, tomorrow being dragged into games by broke friends. Not only are useless friends impractical, but poor parents are too. When we were just learning to speak, everyone told us our parents love us unconditionally and we must obey them. But those who have experienced setbacks in society all understand, our parents are no different from others. They favor the rich over the poor, respect the strong, and step on the weak. If they know you are busy outside but earn very little money, then outwardly they may say it does not matter. But their actions will constantly criticize you and pressure you to do this or that. Their subconscious behavior is essentially telling you that you are nothing but trash. I admit this sounds harsh, but blunt truth is better than false comfort. As for those useless friends, well, superiors are not worth mentioning either. Nowadays, many people still learn how to please others, how to communicate, how to act like a dog to win favor from the boss. It is not that this has no effect, but the greatest principle in this world is fair exchange. Do you really think having a few meals with your boss, singing a few old songs from the 90s, and sharing a few emotional words while drunk makes you close brothers? No, that is naive. No matter how good your relationship with your boss is, you are still someone they hire. You are their employee. This truth will never change. If they find someone cheaper, easier to control, to replace you, then firing you is their smartest choice. Therefore, to survive in this practical society, only money is real. All things like social connections are worthless. If your current monthly salary is barely enough to cover basic needs and you live a tight life, then stop traveling around, bragging and boasting with your useless friends. Instead, use all your time after work to search for the higher-paying job you desire. See what qualifications they require. Work hard to meet those conditions, then switch jobs. If you have ideas, you can write articles, make videos online, become a content creator. Once you gain many followers, you can consider starting your own business. When you have more work, you can form a small team. In short, take initiative to grasp your own life, experiment more, practice more. If working for others is not for you, then do not do it. You must understand, the higher you climb, the less you need to please others, and the less you need others to please you. Those who constantly rely on relationships and love socializing are greedy poor ghosts. You must stay far away from them. AAQ, what is it? Before real ability, it is not even worth dog feces. You may ask, if I do not socialize, how can I develop? I tell you why. Do some people prefer staying at home all day and dislike going out, or enjoy being alone? When going outside, some say because all the things I love are at home. while most of the people and things I dislike are out in the world. On this planet where crowds gather, the topics discussed are nothing but self-boasting, belittling others, prying into lives, and idle gossip about random worldly matters. So why should I go out? I have a pure heart and know how to live for myself in life. I do not want to force myself to serve others and may seem cold or distant in others' eyes, but I never live by other people's standards. Even if I am alone and have few friends, I am not lonely at all. I feel very comfortable because I do not need to deliberately maintain personal relationships and will not be restricted or pressured. People like this have a pure heart, know how to please themselves, live for themselves, and live the life they want according to their own ideas. Narrow your circle, have few friends, live a stable, peaceful life. In life, no matter how many companions you have, no matter how many people you know, in this life, in the end, you will still be alone. So do not worry about having fewer and fewer friends. Do not feel sad or anxious about weakening relationships with family. Working hard to become a better version of yourself and taking good care of your family are the wisest choices an adult can make. Do you agree? This is the 12 traits of a person who enjoys being alone but has a very strong inner world. I have shared this before, you can review. Trait number 1, they are introverted. Many believe introverts are weak in a noisy world. Contrary to common prejudice, the solitude they embrace holds immense strength. Their moments alone are ideal for connecting with themselves, focusing deeply, and allowing their creative minds to soar. While extroverts tend to be more favored in modern society, introverts do not feel abandoned when alone. They actually enjoy the peace and quiet. These private moments help them recharge their energy after social events and restore balance to their lives. Trait number 2, they are independent. Whether alone or with others, those who value privacy always tend to complete tasks by themselves and cherish personal experiences. Their high independence also shows in how they rely on their own thinking and decisions. They are willing to listen to your opinions sincerely, but will not entirely depend on others' advice. Self-autonomy is what drives them to work productively without needing too many rules. Due to the independent nature of those who enjoy solitude, they tend to work more efficiently in environments with fewer people around. Trait number 3, they do everything they like alone. The quiet nature of those who enjoy solitude acts like a shield, protecting them from judgment and prejudice. They do what they love without worrying about what others think. Spending a whole morning reading in a quiet room, walking in a park with no one accompanying them. Activities that make others feel suffocated or bored are actually their favorite hobbies. They do not mind having dinner or watching a movie by themselves and prefer handling problems alone. From the perspective of others, they are often misunderstood as suffering isolation or boredom, but their private space is where they freely enjoy simple happiness. Trait number 4, they value time. People who enjoy solitude understand the value of time better than anyone else. They realize they cannot waste it and know how to use this resource wisely. They prefer staying at home or in a quiet place, doing constructive things for their lives, such as writing journals to improve self-awareness, learning new skills, or simply resting. Besides valuing their own time, they also respect others' time and will never make you wait for any appointment. Trait number 5, they are self-reliant in every matter. This is another positive trait of those who enjoy solitude. They choose to calm themselves rather than calling a friend to vent about their troubles. It is hard to tell when they are sad because they control their emotions very well. Although they spend most of their time in quiet solitude, they always maintain positive thinking to find solutions to their problems. Thus, they do not easily become dependent on others. Trait number 6, they think deeply. A personality trait of those who enjoy solitude is observing things from a distance, listening intently, and thoroughly reflecting on what happens around them before speaking or acting. Because they are used to solitude, their viewpoints are less influenced by outside factors. The silence of those who enjoy solitude is often strategic, like in a chess game. They are likely carefully planning their next moves. The space of solitude allows them to connect with themselves, understand where they need to grow, and become the best version of themselves. Trait number 7. They are comfortable with quality over quantity in relationships. This best describes the social circle of those who enjoy solitude. They do not mind meeting and getting to know many people, but only focus on a few close friends and loved ones. You will rarely see them at weekend tea gatherings. They feel comfortable and satisfied in their private space and only join social events when necessary, such as important occasions like birthdays, weddings, or graduations. Within their circle, they willingly attend to show love and support. When the event ends, they return to their safe zone. Trait number 8. They love themselves. Often misunderstood for not being lively, those who enjoy solitude deeply understand their inner child, trust themselves, and value even small, meaningful achievements. They have the ability to emotionally heal themselves. Thus, they can accept their mistakes and reconcile with regrets. They spend much time focusing on themselves, but this does not mean they are selfish or self-centered. Self-love is a sign of compassion, and those who love themselves are often open-hearted and empathetic toward others. Trait number 9. They avoid conflict. Those who enjoy solitude are accustomed to peace, so they tend to avoid unnecessary drama. They dislike discussing others and see it as a waste of time. Therefore, they are very selective in choosing friends. If someone disrespects or crosses their boundaries, they will firmly distance themselves from such relationships. Trait number 10. They have clear boundaries. They understand that the broad society is an essential part of human existence. They still enjoy being with friends, family, chatting with coworkers, or attending group gatherings. However, they maintain personal boundaries to protect themselves from toxic individuals who could disrupt their peace. Trait number 11. They have high self-awareness. Solitude creates space for them to sort thoughts, emotions, and reflect on themselves. Practicing self-awareness helps them understand their inner world and surroundings better. Thus, they can make wiser choices, face the past honestly, move forward confidently, and live a truly happy life. Trait number 12. They can stay calm. The ability to remain calm in many situations is a standout trait of those who enjoy solitude. This ability comes from the resilience they develop through self-mastery. They can manage and regulate their emotions when facing failure or conflict. They still feel stress, overwhelm, or anxiety when something sudden goes wrong, but instead of losing control, they immediately think of the best ways to overcome difficulties. Dear friend, we often feel exhausted not because of work, but because of pointless socializing. Sometimes, people you have not seen in years suddenly call you, and most likely it is just to fill a quota. In such cases, say no firmly. Because truly intelligent people never socialize. If you are somewhat intelligent, chances are you socialize less than your friends, or you worry whether this social laziness is normal. At the end of a busy day or week, how you spend your evenings and weekends reveals the most truthful part of a person. Many enjoy noisy places, so they go shopping, visit bars, go online to chat, meet friends for meals and gossip. Meanwhile, there is another type of person who does not care about what happens outside. They retreat into a quiet space to rest their mind and spirit. Being alone is not a state of loneliness or low energy, but an active choice for them. They willingly step away from noisy crowds, avoid meaningless relationships, and maintain inner calm to pursue their own goals. In a way, solitude itself becomes a destination the soul is constantly seeking. Rather than saying intelligent people are often lonely, think instead that intelligent people choose solitude. So if you only have a few friends, enjoy walking alone on the road, live happily by yourself, and still feel fine with all of it, perhaps you are not ordinary at all. As Zhuangzi said, one who knows how to be alone becomes exceptional and is regarded as noble. Here, alone means freedom, harmony with oneself, and self-completion, which is also knowing how to coexist with oneself. We must realize, from childhood, we have learned too many lessons about how to get along with others, integrate into society, and excel in communities. But we have forgotten the most basic truth. The greatest enemy in life is oneself. If anyone can conquer themselves and learn to coexist with themselves, then that person can conquer everything in life. If you have the chance to walk alongside a travel companion for 1 month, 1 year, or 10 years, that is a kind of luck. But in the end, only you can complete your own journey. You must master your own destiny first, and only then can you truly live well. Einstein said exceptional people with great minds always face fierce criticism from those with ordinary thinking. A person with dreams who takes action to turn dreams into reality and has the ability and greatness to outperform others must inevitably become different. They dare to step away from the masses who trudge through daily life, chasing trivial things like fame, status, houses, cars, degrees, women, or fine wine. The majority are busy imprisoning themselves in small worries, fearing success is a limited account that must be fought over and stepped on to obtain. Unlike them, those with exceptional minds see clearly that being different means solitude, but also means freedom. Their talent brings deserved prosperity. People with great wisdom do not care about the gossip of the world. They spend time innovating and creating breakthrough ideas instead of wasting energy explaining themselves to immature, ordinary people. Simply because they are used to independent thinking, even in solitude but full of value, their success comes from their own ability, not from the words or opinions of others. In Zhuangzi's wisdom, the mission of life is nothing but finding oneself and finding one's own path. Perhaps on this journey, everyone feels lonely at times, but accepting solitude is the beginning of a fulfilling life. If you cannot harmonize with yourself, you will never be able to harmonize with others. Just as German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer said, only when a person is alone can he become himself. If someone does not love solitude, then he does not love freedom, because only when alone is a person truly free. We can travel the world together, but only walk to the horizon and corners of the earth alone. Enjoying solitude is a light and pleasant joy, unrelated to material things or hobbies, unaffected by ambition or desire. It comes from within, a person with an open heart, calmness, and strong self-mastery. Enjoying solitude is a kind of courageous attitude. As we move through life, fast allows us to enjoy speed, slow allows us to appreciate the scenery around us, not blinded by false fame, not deceived by lies. That is the strength of a humble, gentle person who is wise and intelligent. Being a sheep may be boring, but the price of being a lion is solitude. Similarly, if you want to be surrounded by others, be grass. But if you choose to be a great tree, you must accept loneliness. Being a sheep may be boring, but the price of being a lion is solitude. Similarly, if you want to be surrounded by others, be grass. But if you choose to be a great tree, you must accept loneliness. This does not mean cutting off from the world, but choosing meaningful connections over empty noise. Those who walk alone are not running from people. They are running toward themselves. They protect their energy, focus on growth, and refuse to trade depth for superficial approval. Society praises constant connection, but forgets that true strength often grows in silence. Every great invention, every profound idea, every personal breakthrough was born not in a crowd, but in quiet moments of solitude. Think of Newton under the apple tree. Think of Buddha beneath the Bodhi. Think of artists, writers, and visionaries who created masterpieces in isolation. Solitude is not escape. It is the space where the mind expands and the soul speaks. When you stop chasing people, you start building yourself. You read more, learn more, reflect more. You stop measuring your worth by how many people reply to your messages or attend your events. Instead, you measure it by inner peace, by progress, by the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for. This is not arrogance. It is clarity. Of course, relationships matter, but the most important relationship is the one you have with yourself. If you neglect that, no amount of socializing can fill the emptiness inside. People who enjoy solitude are not antisocial. They are selectively social. They value deep talks over small talk, meaningful eye contact over crowded rooms. They would rather have one real conversation than 10 shallow ones. They understand that time spent alone is not wasted time. It is invested time. They use it to heal, to plan, to dream. They recharge in silence so they can show up fully when they do engage with others. They are not avoiding life. They are preparing for a better version of it. There is a difference between loneliness and solitude. Loneliness is painful. It comes from feeling unwanted, unloved, or unseen. Solitude is powerful. It comes from choice, from strength, from self-trust. One drains you, the other fills you. One makes you dependent, the other makes you free. If you fear being alone, ask yourself why. Are you afraid of your own company? Do you not trust yourself? Do you feel empty without others around? The journey to self-mastery begins with answering these questions honestly. Only then can you turn solitude from something scary into something sacred. Modern life pushes us to be always on, always connected, always performing. But the mind needs stillness, the heart needs quiet, the spirit needs room to breathe. Those who know how to be alone give themselves that gift. They do not wait for weekends or vacations to feel peace. They create it daily through silence, reflection, and intentional living. They are not rejecting society. They are redefining success. Success is not how many people know your name, but how deeply you know yourself. Success is not being popular, but being at peace. Success is not loud applause, but quiet confidence. And when they do connect with others, it is from a place of fullness, not lack. They do not seek validation. They offer value. They do not cling to relationships. They allow them to flow naturally. They attract people not by chasing, but by becoming. This is the paradox of solitude. By withdrawing, you gain more. By slowing down, you move faster. By focusing on yourself, you become more available to others because you are no longer needy. You are whole. So if you feel drawn to quiet spaces, long walks alone, late nights with a book, or early mornings in stillness, do not see it as strange. Do not force yourself into crowds just to fit in. Embrace it. This is not weakness. It is wisdom. Your soul is guiding you toward depth, toward truth, toward freedom. The world will try to label you as cold, distant, weird, or broken, but labels from people who have never looked within are meaningless. Your path is not theirs, and that is okay. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not lost. You are arriving. Every time you choose solitude, you are making a quiet revolution against noise, against distraction, against the pressure to be like everyone else. You are saying, I matter, I deserve space. I will not sacrifice my peace for approval. And slowly, your confidence grows, not from what others say, but from what you know. You know your values, your limits, your dreams. You act from purpose, not pressure. You speak when you have something to say, not just to be heard. This is the power of solitude. It turns you from a reactive person into a deliberate one. It replaces confusion with clarity, fear with courage, emptiness with presence. You stop living for weekends and start living with meaning. You do not need to explain your choices to anyone who does not walk your path. They will not understand, and that is fine. What matters is that you understand. What matters is that you feel aligned with yourself. What matters is that each day you grow stronger, quieter, and more at peace. So protect your time, protect your energy, protect your peace. Say no without guilt. Walk away without apology. Sit in silence without fear. This is not isolation. This is self-respect. This is not running away. This is stepping into your power. And when the world feels overwhelming, remember, you do not have to solve everything at once. You do not have to be everything to everyone. You only have to be true to yourself, one decision at a time, one day at a time, one quiet moment at a time. Those who master solitude do not fear the future because they are not building their lives on shaky ground. They are not depending on praise or popularity. They are building on self-knowledge, on inner stability, on unshakable values. They know storms will come, but they also know they have a safe harbor within themselves. No wind can break that. No failure can destroy it. No betrayal can take it away. It is always there, waiting to be returned to. This is why solitude is not the end. It is the beginning of self-trust, the beginning of real confidence, the beginning of a life that no longer depends on external validation to feel worthy. You were not meant to live on the surface. You were meant to dive deep. The world needs more people who are not afraid to be alone, not afraid to think for themselves, not afraid to walk a different path. So if you are one of them, if you feel this truth in your bones, if you prefer silence over noise, depth over speed, meaning over noise, keep going. Do not let the noise convince you that you are wrong. Your quiet strength is your superpower. One day, the world will need exactly what you are cultivating now: clarity, courage, and calm in the middle of chaos. People will look to you not because you shouted the loudest, but because you stood the firmest in your truth. Until then, keep choosing yourself, keep protecting your peace, keep showing up for your own life with honesty and courage. The path of solitude is not easy, but it is honest. It is not flashy, but it is solid. And in the end, it is the only path that leads to real freedom. Because when you can be alone and feel at peace, you have everything you need. No crowd, no applause, no status can give you what you already carry within. So go ahead, live quietly, live deeply, live freely, and know that my channel stands with you. Not for the noise, but for the silence. Not for the crowd, but for the courage to walk alone.